Good evening, and welcome to the Nightfall Historian.
Tonight, we will take a slow and peaceful journey back in time to the Middle Ages. There will be no loud sounds, no sudden changes, only calm words spoken gently to help you relax and drift toward sleep. You don't need to remember anything. Simply listen and allow the quiet rhythm of history to guide you into rest. Tonight's story is about daily life in medieval times, how ordinary people lived, worked, ate, and rested many centuries ago. Now, get comfortable, lower the volume if needed, and let us begin.
Medieval morning. In the Middle Ages, the day began early. There were no alarm clocks, no electric lights, and no glowing screens. Most people woke with the sun, or sometimes before it. In small villages, the morning air was cool and often filled with mist. Peasants lived in simple homes, usually made of wood, mud, and straw. These houses were small, often with only one room. Inside, a single fire burned slowly, sending gentle smoke upward through a hole in the roof. Families slept close together, sometimes with animals nearby for warmth during cold nights. When morning came, people rose quietly, wrapped in wool clothing, and prepared for another long day. Food and breakfast. Breakfast in medieval times was simple. There was no coffee, no sugar, and no packaged foods. Most people ate bread, dark and heavy, made from barley or rye. Sometimes the bread was hard and had to be softened in water or weak ale. Ale was safer than water, and even children drank it because boiling killed harmful germs. Cheese, porridge, and onions were common foods. Meat was rare for peasants, usually saved for special days or holidays. As people ate, they spoke little, saving energy for the work ahead. Work in the fields. For most medieval people, life was centered around the land. Men, women, and even children worked in the fields. They planted crops like wheat, barley, and oats. The work was slow, repetitive, and physically demanding. Wooden plows cut into the soil, pulled by oxen or horses. Hands grew rough, backs bent, and feet sank into muddy earth. There were no machines, only muscle, patience, and time. Work followed the seasons. Spring was for planting, summer for tending crops, and autumn for harvest. Winter brought rest, but also hunger. Town life and crafts. Not everyone lived in villages. Some people lived in towns, surrounded by stone walls. Here, craftsmen practiced trades passed down through generations. Blacksmiths shaped iron, carpenters worked with wood, and weavers created cloth. The sound of hammers, looms, and quiet conversation filled narrow streets. Shops were small, and goods were handmade. There were no factories, no mass production, only careful work done slowly. Apprentices learned from masters, often starting as young children. Life was strict, but structured.
Religion played a central role in medieval life. Church bells marked the hours, calling people to prayer and reminding them of time passing. Sundays were for rest and worship. Churches were among the largest buildings, tall, cool, and dimly lit by candles. For many people, the church was a place of comfort, community, and meaning. Life was uncertain, and faith offered reassurance.
Evening in the Middle Ages. As the sun began to set, the day slowly ended. Work stopped when light faded.
Candles were expensive, so darkness came early. Families gathered near the fire, sharing simple meals and quiet conversation. Stories were told softly, often repeated many times. Children drifted toward sleep, wrapped in blankets, listening to familiar voices. Outside, the village grew still. Only the sound of wind and distant animals remained.
Sleep in medieval times. Sleep came early and deeply. Beds were simple, straw mattresses, wooden frames, or sometimes just blankets. People slept in stages, often waking in the night, then falling asleep again. The night was long and quiet. There were no screens, no noise, only darkness and rest. And now, as the medieval world fades, allow yourself to rest. You have walked quiet paths, felt the rhythm of another time, and listened to the soft echoes of the past. There is nothing more to do and nowhere else to go. Thank you for spending this peaceful moment with the Nightfall Historian. Sleep well, and good night.